Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a walkthrough and initial review of the MiGoals Progress 90-Day Journal. If you've been exploring my channel recently, you might have noticed that I'm on a bit of a goal journal kick, goal planner kick, and I will be reviewing a group of these over the next few weeks as I start getting ready for a big year of goal setting in 2020. Last week, I reviewed the Best Self Journal, and I will link it up in the cards above if you're interested in that. This week, I'm reviewing the MiGoals Progress 90-Day Journal, and next week, I'll be focusing on the Full Focus Journal. After I've had a chance to use each of these journals, I'll have a follow-up video, and if I've already done that, I will link it down below. All right, let's dive in. Starting with some general information, MiGoals has a variety of planners. This is the Progress 90-Day Daily Journal, but they have weekly journals, monthly journals. They also have different sizes, including A5, A6, B5, and B6 sizes, as well as some desk accessories. You can purchase this planner on the MiGoals website. I bought my planner at Barnes & Noble. The price for this planner is $22.15 in US dollars. You can also get 10% off at the MiGoals website if you sign up for their email, and I received 10% off as a Barnes & Noble member since I purchased my journal at the local Barnes & Noble. They had a limited color range. They only had this one, which is a dark navy blue, but they have a series of other colors on their website. This guy is the A5 size. The paperweight is 100 GSMs. The paper color is an ivory. There are 3 monthly overviews, 1 weekly review, 3 additional reviews at the 30, 60, and 90-day mark, 3 goal-setting worksheets, and 90 daily spreads. And these daily spreads take up 2 pages, so that's 180 pages of daily planning. The cover is a polyurethane leather or a synthetic or vegan leather, and it is an undated planner. All right, let's dive in deeper. It does come shrink wrapped, so it is nice and protected. It has this sleeve outside that explains that it is a 90-day journal, your daily journal designed to help you commit to making real progress toward your goals over a 90-day period. So in the back, it does have some of those specs that we've already discussed. The A5 size, in total, it's 224 pages at 100 GSMs. It has 2 ribbons. It is said to be fountain pen friendly. We will try it out with a pen test in a bit. And then it has embossed artwork cover, and it has this embossment here in the back, MiGoals, and at the very front, Progress. All right, let's open her up. Nothing to see in this first page. It's just a black cardstock, followed by a title page. I'm going to go ahead and bring you in just a little closer. That progress journal says it's been created to guide and coach you to make real progress toward your goals for 90 days, and it has the founder there in the front. 90 days from now, you'll thank yourself for starting. I keep trying to tell myself that as I move forward in this heavy goal setting season of my life. Here it has a page for you to commit to taking action and focusing your energy on your efforts and making progress toward your goals. You can sign it and date it. Then it has some how-to pages. So here at the bottom it says how-to progress journal. Here there's some information as to why they've chosen to do a 90-day journal. Some ideas for what you might want to focus on. It has 4 domains: health and fitness, finances, personal growth, or career and business. There's a small discussion of their 3 goal-setting worksheets that they have in the book, which we'll probably see here in a few pages. Then there's a page here on how they propose that their system works. First, it asks you to determine the key areas of your life that you're going to focus on. The next thing is setting your goals, and then there's taking daily action, making consistent progress. There are areas for you to pause, reflect, and plan. So those are probably the 4 reflection pages that are found throughout the book. And then review your results. So that final part is review the goals that you set after those 30 days and see how you can establish and progress toward those goals from day 1. There's some quotes here. Oh, this is interesting. They actually have an example here of a goal, the goal being what they call Project Marathon. The type of goal here they have listed as a fitness or a personal achievement, the duration of those goals, the what, why, when, and how of those goals, the key milestones, which include the dates that you anticipate hitting those milestones, and then whether or not you've actually hit those. a breakdown of things to do. So here it says choose to focus on the key things that need to be acted or actioned in order to achieve this goal. I don't know if that is proper word usage, but that's what it says. And then there's a reward, so that's a specific reward, and then here's the outcome and the date that you completed it. So I bet this is how the pages are going to be structured as we move forward. It is really nice to have a specific example here. So that is their example for their goal worksheets. Then there's a sample page on how to use their daily sheet. There's a space for your daily focus. That is followed by your habits, so set and keep track of daily habits. And you have spots for 3 habits. You have a feeling section to describe the way that you're feeling. It says describe it in about a word. You have a section here for gratitude. What are you grateful for? Right under that is your daily goal, so your goal for the day. Then there's a list of things to do today. So they're the key things. You have certain lines that are numbered 1 to 3, and then you have a little dot to identify whether or not that has been completed, and then you have some additional tasks under there. At the bottom of that page, you have some key appointments so that you can keep track of your appointments, and then you have a big empty space here. In this example, they're using a daily goal of calling 10 new retailers today. So they're using their daily notes section to write down notes specific to what's happening on that day in this example page. That notes section is to write down any specific notes or general things for you to remember. Then there's a reflection page, which starts with Today I, and it's a section for you to reflect on your accomplishments, on your day and how it went. Your top 3 wins is a section for you to identify those things for your day. In this moment, it's an area for you to describe how you're feeling. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you contented? That's the examples that they give here. And then you're looking forward to tomorrow, some things that you're excited about doing. Then there's a rate your day. It gives you the option of rating your day on a scale from 1 to 10. And then 1 is not good, 5 is okay, and 10 is awesome, according to their rating system in this example page. Of course, you can feel free to use it as you wish. And that is followed by the goal setting worksheets. So their goal worksheets are just 1 page. Some of my initial thoughts on this is I love inspirational quotes, and I'm happy to have them included in my journal. I would have liked it if they used just a small section of the goal setting for that quotation, and they could have done a 2-page spread for the goals. They only have 3 goal setting worksheets. I think 3 goals are an appropriate number for a 90-day goal planning journal, but I'm not sure if this is the best use of a full page. This page looks exactly like the sample page that they provided at the very beginning. It starts with the goal and the goal number. So this is goal 1. It has a section for you to note the date, the type of goal that it is. Is it a short-term goal? Will it take 1 to 12 weeks? Or is it a medium range goal? It's going to take 3 to 6 months. This is the what, why, when, and how of the specific goal. The 3 key milestones, and it doesn't have the slashes here indicating that they want you to put a date in here, but we know that from the example that they provided that these are areas for you to put a date. The line is divided by a small dash, so you can use it as an indicator of what day you want to reach those milestones, or you can use that separation to indicate any other thing that you might think is important. Then there are the things to do, so these are kind of the big rocks of the project, so not like the nitty-gritty daily activities or tasks, but maybe some of the major tasks that you need to do in order to meet those milestones. And then at the bottom, you have a section for a reward, a section to write your outcome, and a section for the date that you completed that goal. Goal number 2 has the same formatting. Again, on the left-hand side, there's a full quote page, and then there's the goal worksheet on the right-hand side. You have the same thing for goal 3. That is followed by the first of 3 monthly overviews. Now, the monthly overviews are not all grouped at the beginning of the planner, so they're interspersed throughout. That means that if you miss a page, or if you're using this for a work-related goal and you're only doing it for certain days of the week or Monday through Friday, there are going to be some blank pages because you do need to go through 30 some odd days before you get to the next monthly planner. Also, if your month has less than 30 days, like February, or more than 30 days, your next monthly overview may not be exactly when you want it. One of the strange things about this monthly overview is that Monday through Friday are all the same size, but then Saturday and Sunday are a little bit wider. So that may be a pro or a con for you, but it's just something that I noticed as I looked through the monthly overviews. Here at the bottom, you have space for 3 monthly goals, 3 to-dos, and a notes section. This things to do section is consistent with their overall goal worksheets because they do have it broken up as key milestones and then things to do, which are supposed to be some of those key things. I think it was an interesting choice for them to label these sections things to do as opposed to key things or even key things to do. It might have been a little bit more obvious what these lists were supposed to be about. At least they are keeping their terminology consistent. So you have that monthly goal section, the things to do, and the notes section on this monthly overview. That is followed by your first daily page, which again looks exactly like the example page that we just reviewed. Something that I just realized is that these blank pages have morning and then focus right next to that morning. So is this supposed to be for your morning focus or the focus for the whole day? It is different than this section, which is supposed to be your daily goal, and then you have a dot here for whether or not you accomplished it. I just question if this could have been formatted a little bit better. I think their intention with this layout was to have you do this section in the morning. Fill out your focus, the day of the week and the date, what you're grateful for, how you want to feel today, the 3 habits that you want to hit, and your daily goal. And then after that, this is what you're going to be focusing on for the rest of your day. Kind of how you have night here as a title section. It's just a little strange to me, the typefacing and the fact that morning is right next to focus. Maybe I would have liked morning to be on top of focus so that it can be consistent with the other separators that they have. It also says day here. This is just me being a format Nazi, but if you have night and then you have a darker line and that separates what you're supposed to be doing at night, I would have wanted similar formatting in the morning and in the day section where it would say morning, they'd have a darker line, then day, and a darker line, but that's just a moment of complaining. Jay's perfectionism invading a video near you. Anywho, back to the general overview. So, how we would use this planner. We'd wake up in the morning, decide on a daily focus, have a moment for gratitude, decide what your daily goal is going to be, how do you want to feel that day, and the 3 habits that you want to ensure get done on that day. Then there's a little section here where there is a quote. Then there's the day section. You have your top 3 tasks that you need to complete that day. You have your key appointments, and this big open section here. I think this open section could be a pro or a con. I do think it is an interesting slant that this journal has, that kind of open space. It reminds me of the Passion Planner Space of Infinite Possibilities. In their weekly overview, they have a space that is just completely blank for you to use as you wish. So I think it'll be interesting to see how I end up using this blank space for my daily spreads. There's a daily notes pages. Again, I'm not sure if I love having a half page for daily notes. I also am generally a dots or grid person, so these are solid lines. It will be somewhat different for me to use these lines to write my daily notes, but I think given that I have this blank space here, I have enough flexibility if I need to do or document something that isn't best suited for lines like drawings or graphs or things like that. Then there's a nightly review section. I really like this section because there's a structured nightly review. Nightly reviews are something that I'd like to add to my planning process, and some of these goal planners do have built-in daily reviews and weekly and monthly reviews. So I do like that it has this section. This section takes up half of the second page for my daily page. I'm not sure if I like that or don't like it. I'm just gonna approach it as though it's neutral for me right now because I haven't really had a chance to use this journal. So this might be just enough space for my daily notes, and this might be just enough space for my daily review. Your nightly review consists of a review of what you did today, your top 3 wins, how are you feeling at this moment when you're doing the review, and then looking forward to tomorrow, some things that you have to look forward to tomorrow. I especially like this page. It's kind of like preparing yourself to enjoy the next day. When you anticipate that something will be good, you are training yourself to look for the good in the next day, just like when you prepare yourself for something to be bad, you have like a lot of anticipatory anxiety. You're priming your brain to look for things to support that anxious feeling. So this is actually priming you to look for positive things in your day ahead. Lastly, here you have rate my day. You have the 1 through 10 that we discussed earlier. And this I particularly like. It says day 1 of 90. So you're starting to get a little countdown for how many days you have left in your 90-day goal planning period. After that, they have an interesting way of organizing your pages moving forward. So you have 7 of these daily pages, and then you're gonna have one of these full quote pages. It is really easy to find these review sections because they are all preceded by a full black quote page. So this planner has 4 spots for you to do reviews of how you're doing with your goal setting. It has a 7-day, a 30-day, a 60, and a 90-day review. The 7-day review says, congratulations on getting to day 7. Remember, starting any new routine can be a challenge, so give yourself a big pat on the back for getting through the first stage. Then it has you complete a series of sections, starting with the top 3 things that you accomplished in your first week of your 90-day goal setting. First, it has a section for you to document your top 3 things that you accomplished in your first 7 days. How do you feel after your first 7 days? The top 3 tasks to accomplish in the next 30 days. So the top 3 things that you need to finish within the next 3 weeks or so. Then you have the major challenges that you anticipate for the remaining 23 days. So this is a way for you to identify what barriers you anticipate might come up, and it also gives you a moment to try to problem solve through those barriers, taking that moment to really think through what are the potential friction points as I move forward. And you document how you plan on overcoming some of those challenges in this bottom section. How will I overcome these challenges? At the bottom it says 7-day review, just reminding you of where you are. I have similar feelings here that I had in the goal setting pages. I understand the function and utility of having this black full quote page, but there was an opportunity to have this 7-day review go across 2 pages and potentially go more in depth. But because they have chosen to do these black quote pages as dividers throughout the journal, you only have 1 page for your weekly review before that moves directly into the daily pages. After that, you have 23 more of these daily planner spreads. There are 2 pages each, and that moves us into our 30-day review and a Michael Jordan quote. This 30-day review page looks a lot like the 7-day review page. It asks you to look at your top 3 things that you accomplished over the last 30 days. How do you feel about the progress that you've made? Those 3 tasks that you feel like you need to accomplish in the next 30 days, the major challenges that you anticipate and how you'll overcome those challenges. And the difference here is that it has 30-day review at the bottom instead of the 7-day review that the other page had. Another thing that's different is after that review page, you'll have the second of 3 monthly overviews. That is followed by 30 daily spreads, which will take up 2 pages each. At the 60-day mark, you'll have a 60-day review, again followed by the monthly overview and the final 30 daily spreads. You have your final review at 90 days. It has a congratulatory statement here on top, congratulating you on getting through those 90 days. Again, it asks you to list the top 3 things that you accomplished, but this is going to cover the full 90-day period. How do you feel about the progress that you've made? What was the highlight of the last 30 days? And then what do you plan to do for the next 90 days? There's an additional section for you to write the outcomes of each of your 3 goals that you identified at the very beginning of the planner and the dates that you completed each. I like that they have this page at the end, which really provides a bookend to the first page where it asks you to commit to working on your goals for the next 90 days. Here it says, congratulations, you've made it through 90 days. Let's not stop here. Let's tackle the next 90 days. And then you can sign and date that page here at the end. That is followed by lined pages. There are 4 2-page spreads or 8 individual pages of lined following that final planner page. The back of the planner also has that hard cardstock, and there is no pocket here in the back flap. The planner comes with 2 ribbon bookmarks. At least for mine, they were attached, so it required just a little bit of work to break those apart, and they are relatively long, so you can easily bring them all the way across the book to open it up to the page that you've marked. Now onto the pen test. This paper held up really well in the pen test. As you can see, you have some minimal ghosting even with the very thick fountain pen. You definitely have some ghosting with the Sharpie and maybe a tiny, just a touch of bleed through in some of those corners for the Sharpie, but that is pretty impressive. So here are some of my final thoughts and initial impressions on the MiGoals Progress 90-Day Journal. So some of the pros are the paper quality is pretty phenomenal. When I first opened up the journal and I thumbed through the pages, I wasn't sure if I was really going to enjoy the paper quality. I am really starting to enjoy the ivory color compared to the bright white that some planners have. So I enjoy both the color and the quality, the weight of the paper, and how well it did on the pen test. I also like the general aesthetic of the notebook, the kind of understated embossing, the color of the notebook. I also really enjoyed the length of the bookmarks. So these are some of the small, like, stationery lover things that I really enjoy about this planner. I also like the structured guided daily check-ins. It seems as though it would be really easy to just go through each of the individual prompts and do a daily check-in to see how you did on your goals. Some of the cons are that this notebook, compared to some of the other goal-specific planners that I will be reviewing over the next month, has a minimal goal setting guide or a minimal goal setting guidance at the beginning of the journal. It just has a few pages, although I do feel that having those sample goal pages at the beginning were really helpful and probably are a good substitute for not having a really detailed goal setting system outlined at the very beginning of the planner. A second con, I hate to harp on it, it's the setup of the monthly overviews. I don't like the boxes being different sizes, so I would have liked all of the individual boxes in the calendar grid to have been the same size or reformatted in such a way where it would make more sense why some were larger than others. Although I do kind of like intellectually understand that they've just chosen to do the weekends, and that was a way for them to use the entire A5 width of the 2 spreads to have some of the boxes be wider than the other ones, but it just isn't my personal preference. And as I've stated a few times, the fact that they have the monthly overviews inserted at 30, 60, and 90 days makes it so that you can hit a monthly overview before you're done with a calendar month. So there are some pros to that. You can start in the middle of a month and really just go with looking at this 90-day calendar as a 13-week journal rather than a 90-day journal. But what I find a little bit challenging about that perspective is if you want to make it a 13-week journal, you can insert the monthly calendars at every 28 days, and then you'll ensure that people hit the monthly overviews at the right time. But again, this is just like really nitpicky and some like potential alternatives, but I'm not sure if there's a perfect way of doing it other than having all of the monthlies at the very beginning, and then they'd be separated from those 30, 60, and 90-day reviews. So there's really no perfect way of doing it. It's just like a small con on my perspective. And the final thing is the pages at the end, they are lined. I prefer dots or grids, but that's just my personal preference. Some people enjoy the lined paper, some people enjoy blank paper, and I actually think blank paper for me at the end of a journal is the worst. I need some structure, so I even prefer lines to a blank sheet of paper, but lines are not my ideal situation for notes pages at the end of a journal. I prefer dots or grids, and maybe maybe more than 8 pages would have been nice, but this journal also has 2 pages per day, so it's pretty generous with the space that it gives you each day, so maybe it makes sense why there's only a limited number of note sheets at the end. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Until next time, make plans and prepare to modify.